Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the PUDcast with Jason and Mike. I'm Jason.
I'm Mike.
And we're coming to you from the Pud Cave located in the heart of beautiful downtown Lincoln in the great state of North Carolina. Mike, what is going on, brother?
Man, it is Sunday morning.
Yes, sir, man. Another beautiful Sunday and another beautiful day here in the Pud Cave, brother.
It has been a good week.
I
tell you what, the weather has been tremendous.
Brother,
this
10
whole
out of
week.
10.
I mean, 50s and 60s in the morning. Yeah, I could deal with that.
Oh man, it's been beautiful, dude. The other morning was Monday morning. I came out of hibernation, from the weekend after doing the PUDcast last week, and Monday morning, brother, I walked out, I had my short sleeves on. I was like, God dang, I might take it in the house and get a little jacket or something, But bro, it felt good, man.
It did. It really did.
I
wish we could coast in the fall.
Like this.
I tell you, unfortunately, not this week.
No, not going to happen.
Nope.
I tell you, man, I try to take a little walk after work. I try to go and maintain my health a little bit and try to get a little walking time in. And brother, this week it has been tremendous. It's just been a beautiful day, man. I've been singing Zippity Doo Dah, you know what I'm saying, man? Skipping down the dam, the trail, man, the squirrels, the birds chirping, man. It's been a great day, man. A great week, beautiful.
Did you have the authorities called on you?
Yes, I did, man. Apparently, man, tripping on LSD at the track is not, it's not recommended, man. I was like, look at all the birds in the, it's like Snow White and shit, man. They're landing on my shoulders,
right.
Whistling. We're singing Free Bird, it worked out. But
So you said you were at the track.
No, I'm sorry, the trail. The walking trail. Okay, I'm sorry. Yes. It's the walking trail.
That's why I figured you would get the proper authorities. Yeah.
Oh yeah,
alerted to your activities.
Oh yeah, I definitely had a lot of attention called to me, but hey man, it was fun, and I dried out, overnight in jail. It worked out. So.
High fiving Todd and.
Oh yeah, Crazy Todd, man,
yeah.
Kojak, you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
A couple of our other little locals, everybody, man, we're all in this.
And speaking of that, and speaking of hometown locals and characters, we're gonna have to delve into that one day.
Oh yes, sir. I know we've already discussed. Bringing that up, man, but good God, that might be a saga, brother. We may have to turn that into a trilogy. Hell, Crazy
true.
Todd, fuck, man, Crazy Todd could get an episode just himself. We need to try to get Crazy Todd in the PUDcast.
Absolutely, that'd be fun.
That's ratings, brother.
Yeah. I don't think we can fit his card in here, but
No, I don't think you can fit his cart in a hanger, brother. That son bitch has gotten huge.
Did you ever see the one time it had wings?
Oh fuck yeah, man! Yeah, hell yeah! Or had a little propeller fan on the front of it, like a son bitch. I thought it was gonna take off, man. If you've noticed, that cart has progressively gotten bigger over the years, man. I swear to God, that thing can pick up Wi-Fi.
Well, more than likely.
You can see
it's almost become like a what's the word I'm looking for? Almost like a battle vehicle.
Oh yeah, man, it does. It looks like a freaking tank. It almost reminds me of the old G.I. Joe toys that you could add shit to the tanks, man. You know what I'm saying? You can add missiles. Yeah, man, like Devastator from the Transformers, man. When I think of Crazy Todd's card, I think of Devastator because that son of a bitch is just
looks like
bigger
it could transform.
For real, into a huge fucking robot.
Yeah.
Man. Swear to God. But, and Mike, I kind of lost my train of thought last week. I was going back and I was listening to our PUDcast, excuse me. And I was going to call something to attention, even though this week, Mike, I don't see it. But man, I got to give you props on that Trapper Keeper you've been rocking up in here, brother.
Oh yeah.
I don't see it.
I know. I think I left it at the house this morning.
Oh no, man! I don't think I'm gonna say.
Out, and I must have forgot it because I don't think it's in my bag. But yeah, yeah.
Mike Payne is rocking the Trapper Keeper of all Trapper Keepers. I love his thing, man. It brings me back, bro.
Yeah, I love that thing, man. I tell you, I wish I could have like 10 of them.
Oh yeah,
dude. Just to carry around for different stuff.
I still wish I had my
use
old
that
ones.
one for the podcast. That just write down notes and keep up with stuff that we're doing.
Right.
And I wish I had 10 of them.
Oh yeah, man. They're great.
Dude.
They should have never went out of style, man. Hopefully they'll come back around.
I don't think they really ever did. I think they just changed them up so much in the design over the years that they look nothing like what they did in the 80s.
What we came up on, man, when they were good.
Yeah. When everything was awesome Velcro.
Hey, amen, brother. And those things were sturdy as hell, man. You could drop one, you could have all your homework in it, throw it off the building.
Yeah.
And you ain't gonna lose a sheet.
Yeah.
Man, I'm telling you, I'm a big fan of the Trapper Keeper.
Oh yeah.
Brother,
Yeah. until you got that little piece of webbing in between your fingers caught in one of the binders.
That'd wake you up, bro.
That happened a lot.
Yeah, that would wake you up, brother. That would give you a little bit of a wake-up call. But you know, Mike, I think this week, brother, it's not really a big surprise. It's not a big spoiler.
No.
We're just going into
part 2. You knew this
two.
was coming.
Yeah.
Part 2.
After part 1, usually part 2 comes next, and what we're going to be doing this week, Mike, is we're going to pick up right where we left off with Starrcade 84.
Right where we left off last week. And if you haven't listened to last week's show yet, definitely check it out. If you're offended by the gratuitous use of the word dick,
maybe tune it out.
Maybe not so much towards the end. You don't want to check that one out.
Don't be a pud and just listen. But we got a little.
We got a little happy with
a little dick happy.
Yeah, a little dick happy on that one. Here we go again.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Here we start right off the bat. Thank God Dick Slater's already been, the match has already happened.
Yeah, I'm telling you what, I think it's just Dick Slater himself that brings that out, that craziness.
That craziness, man.
Unpredictability.
Well, and Mike, not only was it Dick Slater, but brother, before the Dick Slater match, we had the Boogie Woogie match, and that one really set us off.
Oh,
man.
yeah.
We marked the fuck out.
Oh, yeah.
Which is to be expected when the Boogie Woogie man and Paul Jones
That's true.
are involved.
You get that feeling. I think if we did like a compilation of just Boogie Woogie matches and interviews, we'd probably just be...
It'd be chaos.
It'd be chaos. We'd probably just be on the floor.
Nobody would listen, man, because it would be the equivalent of the bar scene in the Gremlins.
Yeah.
When they're spinning around on the ceiling fan and everybody's just... That would be us watching nothing but Paul Jones and Boogie Woogie man matches, and nobody would listen because we'd just be too busy marking out, man, But I believe between the Boogie Woogie magic and the Dick Slater magic...
Oh, man.
Because we're not Slater haters.
No,
one thing we have learned.
Absolutely not.
In fact, man, I'm becoming a huge Dick Slater fan. And I owe that to you, Mike, because I was familiar with Dick Slater and I remember Dick Slater, but I just wasn't familiar and aware of how important this guy was during this era of '84, and not just how important he was, but just how over he was and how good he was, how talented he was.
Right.
Man, he had all the things you need. Man, he could talk. He was funny.
Yeah.
That's what got me, man. He was one of those first heels that would make you laugh.
Yeah. Unintentionally. That unintentional,
Yes. I think that's just that charisma it factor that just comes out, man, regardless if you... Well, Mike, I can't compare what we did in professional wrestling to what Dick Slater did, but I can't compare it even with us, man, when we were playing heels. We always got laughs in the crowd. We always would get smiles and laughs no matter what we said to the people. And I think a lot of that was just we had charisma, man, and we worked well together, not only in wrestling, but even on the podcast, And it's sometimes it's really hard not to let that come out. You know what I'm saying? Right. Sometimes when you have that, when people want to like you, they're going to like you.
Yeah.
And I think Dick Slater fell into that,
Yeah, I think that was a big part of them turning him babyface. During that year is it was like with with the Flair thing too. People liked him. He had his fans even when he was heel.
Right.
People liked him. They saw he was talented.
They recognized that.
And I think they kind of pushed forward with that.
Right.
With that. And we'll get more into Dick Slater.
Yeah. I was going to say, I'm sure
there's a whole. There's so much area to cover with Dick Slater.
Yeah, we're definitely going to have a podcast just for Dick Slater. If not, once again, this may turn into another one of those trilogies. I mean, it could absolutely.
Yeah.
It could absolutely happen. But Mike, let's get into today's podcast, man.
All right, let's. I guess we'll go ahead and start off where we left off last show, and we're going into the. Ole Anderson and Keith Larson match against the Koloffs, Ivan and Nikita.
Those evil, mean, nasty, stinking Russians.
And this is for nothing else but for pride.
Pride. This is pride. Yes.
Because, what they did to Don Cornodle, who it was, in fact, Keith Larson's Rocky Cornodle.
Right.
Brother.
Yes. Now, this is kayfabe, brother, correct?
This
was legit.
Yes.
Oh, okay, okay.
Yes. It was a shoot. They were actually brothers.
I thought that was just a work. Okay.
Keith Larson took on the name
Cornodle.
Keith Larson, at the very beginning, just kind of not
to differentiate. Kind of like the
away from
Mulligans
his
and the
brother.
Wyndhams. So
Right.
I see.
Yeah.
I got you. Okay.
Because I think when Keith started, and of course he's a blonde hair baby face.
Right.
And Kernodle was, hot heel
Yes,
in that
man.
Mid-Atlantic region. At the time, he was with Slaughter, the biggest heel team
Yes.
at that time. And then he went on with, of course, Cowboy Bob Orton Jr.
Right.
And then with Ivan Koloff. And him and Koloff had a great run for those tag
Yes,
titles.
sir. And you talk
Incredible.
about heat, man.
Yeah.
And Kernodle's another one of those heels that was funny. He
Yeah.
had that
Yeah.
hit, just
He
like
was.
Dick Slater, man. Because, he was another one of those guys I was familiar with, and I remember watching him on the old VHSs of what shows you could get on VHS
Right.
back in those days. But I was not familiar until I went back and started looking into the year of '84 when we did our '84 show. That's when I really got back and got familiar with not only Slater, but with also Kernodle. Man, he was great. I mean, his promos were hilarious.
Oh, God.
And he had so
He was
much
good.
heat.
The Pride of the Carolinas, and
Yes.
yeah.
And then went Russian Sympathizer.
Yeah.
Oh man, it was hot, but
Huge.
he kept that
Yeah.
that charisma, that humor in his promos.
Yep.
And once again, man.
Well, that
I
comes,
was a fan.
back from that, his time with Slaughter too.
Yes, sir. Right.
They were those just cocky, arrogant,
Tough guys,
God,
man.
they knew they were better.
Yes. Yeah. And they were.
Yeah.
And they were, and that was the thing. I think that's why teams and even individual wrestlers get so much heat is when it's legit.
Yeah.
I'm a big badass, and I could kick your ass.
Right.
And there's not a damn thing you can do about it.
Okay. Well, that puts me back to the storyline with those two teams now. Don Kernodle was actually trained by Ole Anderson.
Okay.
I think, if I'm not mistaken, Don Kernodle was like an NCAA wrestling.
So he's the real, he's
oh,
real
yeah.
athletic. I mean,
Yes.
the real guy.
Yes.
Right.
And he was trained by Ole Anderson. And if you've ever heard the stories about Ole and Gene training guys,
But
from that era, yeah.
They made sure you had it.
ask Al Snow.
You have to have the grit to get through it,
Yeah.
man. Especially with somebody like Ole, who's kind of a ill.
Ah.
He's kind of a bitter old fart anyway, and his stories of being just really mean.
Yeah.
Honestly, there's no other words to put it, man. He was mean as hell.
Yeah.
And so to have him as your trainer, because Mike, you've trained for professional wrestling more than I have, but I've done some training. That's hard, man. Even when you have a cool trainer,
Right.
somebody who's not
yeah.
there just to beat the shit out of you, but who actually wants to teach you. Where Ole would be those guys who wanted to do both. They wanted to teach you, but they wanted to make sure that they weren't letting just anybody
Right.
in.
Exactly.
Especially in that era,
Yeah.
man, because it was still so protected.
And that says a lot for Don Kernodle.
He made it.
Yeah.
He made it through. Yeah. I mean, it's the same thing like with, you hear about the Hearts and, I mean, there was just certain trainers, man, that were just, they were hard asses.
Right.
But they had to be. But,
go back to
to a
Hogan.
certain degree.
Go back to Hogan.
Got his leg broken by Hiro Matsuda.
Yeah.
I mean, that was a straight shoot. You know how I feel about Hogan. As the wrestler. I'm not talking about Terry Bollea, the human being. I'm talking about Hulk Hogan, the wrestler. And one thing that always bothered me is how much hate. Well, and we've discussed it, man. Greatness always brings on hatred, man. If you're great, you're going to be hated. You're probably going to be hated more than you're loved, and you're definitely going to be hated more than you're recognized. But this man paid his dues just as much, if not more, than any other professional wrestler that ever came through the ranks, man. You don't break your leg and go back as soon as it's healed if you're not in it for the love of what you're doing, man.
And to be in the sport at this time, you had to be tough.
You had to, man. Yes, you had to be the real deal because there's just too many people out there. A lot of people don't realize that professional wrestling in this era, Mike, was a lot like the Wild West.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, just because the promoter said you're winning, you're losing does not necessarily mean that you're going to win or lose. Tell Andre the Giant, 1978, hey, you got to take a job. Tell the Road Warriors, man, they were notorious for that.
Yeah.
You had to be the real deal.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, brother, we can save all that stuff. We're going to. I cannot wait till we have a podcast just about professional wrestling as itself. We are going to talk about that one day, just wrestling in general. But today is not the day, brother.
No. All right, so we're going to start it off back at the 131 mark.
Okay.
On the WWE Network.
Yes.
$9.99 blah, blah, blah.
Take it easy, Vince.
All right. If you want to watch along, we're going to go through it. You know, we're going to, kind of skip through certain points on this show, but we're going to start off at about the 131 mark.
And like Mikey was saying, ladies and gentlemen, we would love for you guys to watch along with us.
Absolutely.
That is really
or catch it later.
Catch it later.
Catch it later.
Absolutely. But yeah, if you get a chance, check it out. Listen to us. Give our commentary and I guess our reaction and review of this match or these matches.
Now, the one thing I hate about from the original feeds of these videos, and they were in closed caption. Not closed caption. Closed circuit. Closed circuit.
Yes, sir. Right.
Is the fact that they can't use that original music, that they use, so they have to put in their own, in-house music.
Yes, yeah. That sucks because that was still back in the day where you were using real songs off the radio and. For whatever reason, the record companies didn't want wrestlers to promote their music to thousands of non-music people. Who knows, man? I'm not in the music business. So
I know.
We see how well they're doing nowadays. I'm just saying, you know.
Yeah, and we've done, we did that episode back. Check it out,
Check it out, man. Music and wrestling. Episode 4 or 5, I believe it was, something like that. Yeah, but we're on YouTube, people. Go check us out on YouTube. Check us out on iTunes. Check us out on Facebook.
That's right. But they were really pushing that USA. It's 1984. They were really pushing it USA. We are still in Cold War.
Yes, sir.
We've got the Olympics.
Oh, that's right, man.
That we had just went through and just dominated.
Right.
In part,
the Russians boycotted.
Right.
They didn't come because it was in Los Angeles, if I'm not mistaken. I believe it was in Los Angeles.
Right.
And so the Russians said, man, in other words, tensions are all-time high at this point.
Right.
Probably not since the Bay of Pigs had tensions been this high. Because, Reagan's in there, Gorbachev, they're trying to get to that glasnost or whatever they call it, peace is whatever. Yeah. Yes, but we're not there yet.
Right.
We're not there yet.
No, not at all. But they're really they start out with the national anthem. Play it through, and of course, the Koloffs coming out to the Russian national anthem. And here's an interesting thing for me is that Ole Anderson and Keith Larson, Don Cornell all come out to Neil Diamond's
Coming to America.
Yes.
Right. Yeah.
Which I thought was an incredible song to come out to. It's just one of those songs.
That's a good song.
I love that song.
Yeah, I do too. Yeah.
It's just one of those hype things.
Yeah.
But if you take and look back at the message of that song,
it's not. It's more about immigration, correct?
Exactly.
Yeah, right.
Exactly.
In other words, we should welcome the Russians.
That's the thing.
And they were playing it more as an FU to the Russians, but that's not it.
I remember another time that I saw that song used in pop culture or media was Cheech Marin's Born in East LA. East LA, as soon as they're coming over the border, over that hill, man. And that's one of those hype moments that just gives you those chills. Everybody's coming over and just mowing over the border patrol. It's one of the greatest things.
One of the funniest moments of my life, Mike Payne. And this has been years and years, man. I'm talking about probably mid-90s. I was probably still 18, 19, 20 in that. Me and a friend of mine went to a Mexican restaurant and they were playing that song in Spanish.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, man. And obviously I knew the melody.
Yeah.
So, obviously you know that melody, but it was all in Spanish. I thought that was hilarious.
Wow.
Man. Yeah. But, I mean, I laughed on that, man. It was a good version, man. They did a good version of it.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
All right, brothers, let's get into this match. We just hit play here. And once again, ladies and gentlemen, if you get a chance, check it out with us, man. We would love for you to watch this. And obviously, you can always leave messages and leave comments and anything else on our Facebook page or our YouTube page. And we can continue the conversation from, after the podcast and on through the week and on through the months and years. So definitely participate. We love that. Yeah. All right, Mike, so what we got going on here, bro?
Ole and Don and Keith have gotten into the ring. Keith Larson's sporting a robe for the first time ever in his career. This is a big match for him.
Probably because
he went
life.
From preliminary wrestler to here you are.
I mean, you're up there, man.
Yeah, you were close to
top of the card.
This is a big match.
Yeah. Probably the biggest of his career.
Oh, absolutely. And honestly, it would be
the last.
Yeah, I mean, he would still go. He would still wrestle with Crockett Promotions, as a preliminary wrestler, but yeah, this was the peak.
Pretty much his pinnacle of his career. But Mike, at the same time, brother, damn, you're at Starrcade.
You are at Starrcade, and
I mean,
this is big.
Yeah, I mean, for any of you kids out there, this would be like WrestleMania.
Yeah.
But cooler.
Yeah. Oh yeah, for sure, for sure.
And at this time, man, this is before WrestleMania. I think we discussed that last week, but this was before WrestleMania 1.
Yes.
And this is also the second Starrcade. So you got to remember, man, we've already had 2 huge cards before WrestleMania is even a concept.
Yeah.
So once again, man, it just shows how Dusty and Crockett were ahead of the curve on this thing.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah,
and Dusty, he saw that big picture. He saw it could be just big events, everything around this big event, and he saw you could do more with it.
Right.
And wow, it's just an amazing job.
I've always considered Dusty and Vince similar in the way that they both approach promoting professional wrestling like.
Oh wow! Check that out. Out in the back, you got this huge rebel flag.
Back
there in the background. As Ivan is holding the
Russian
flag.
Union,
yeah, the Russian flag way above the because he's got both flags in his hands. The Russian flag and the American flag. And he's holding the Russian flag way above the
American flag.
Flag. It's like, well, yes, this is greater than your flag,
which is getting heat in
there.
I mean, absolutely. Sure. I mean, because this is Greensboro too, correct? Isn't this in Greensboro? Yes.
Look how big Nikita is.
Ladies and gentlemen,
he's a monster.
At this particular time, I would say Nikita Koloff has got to be one of the biggest human beings in professional wrestling at this time. Hey, he really looked like Goldberg.
Right.
In those days, if not even maybe a little bigger.
Yeah.
Honestly, man, maybe a little bit more bulked out than a Bill Goldberg. But yeah, man, like I said, this was just during that period of time where this Cold War was still so tense, and patriotism in the South, man. I think the South has always shown more patriotism anyway.
For sure,
I think we definitely hold on to that near and dear, and so that's why the Russians were just so over in the Carolinas, man, because they were just so hated. I mean, I've already told you, man, Nikita Koloff was without a doubt my quote-unquote favorite heel, and the reason I say favorite because he was the most legitimate heel to me. And I'll say that from here on out, man.
Right.
Nikita was the scariest. He was the most legit.
Oh.
All right, now what we got going on here now?
Whoa, they started that match out hot. Ole and Keith Larson is just attacking before the bell, and they're just... Wow.
Taking it to the Russians. Nikita's T-shirt has already been ripped off by Keith Larson's.
Of course, that's Ole Anderson, man. That's just, hey.
That's his style. Strike first, strike hard. He's like Cobra Kai, man. He's like Johnny Lawrence, dude. He ain't fucking around. But right off the bat, man, we have a hot match going on. We see Keith Larson. He's sending Ivan in, or is that Nikita? Yes, Ivan. Sending Ivan into the ropes. Has a backdrop. He's punching him with illegal fist, I might add. But hey,
hey, it's
against the Russians, man.
It's all about this isn't going to be a scientific match.
No clinics.
This isn't just a pure fight.
It's going to be a brawl, man.
For pride. Nothing else but pride.
No belts, no gimmicks. It's not a flag match. There's no amount of money on the line. There's no belt on the line.
Nope.
And you know what else I'm really loving about this match, Mike Payne? Who's our referee?
Tommy Young.
Tommy Young. And you know what I really love about Tommy Young? He's not wearing the fucking janitor outfit like Sonny Fargo was last week.
Let's stay off. Let's stay off of Rough House Fargo. I'm hoping we see some more Rough House this time around.
I can't remember if he comes back to ref any matches or not after this one.
I can't remember either.
I don't know.
It's possible.
Tommy may be from here on. Maybe. I don't know. I'm sure. I know obviously he doesn't do the main event. Joe Frazier is in the main event.
Right.
But let's go into a little bit of this in-ring action here, brother. We got Ole coming in.
I'm going to tell you, Keith Larson holds his own, during this whole thing.
Right. I mean, right off the bat, man, they're working great together.
Yeah,
Quick tags in and out, man. Ole, of course, being the tag team specialist that Ole always has been.
Hey, and that's the thing, from going preliminary, straight into this main event match, he holds his own. He looks natural in this thing. The only thing with Keith, man, like I said before, is Keith Larson just could not talk.
He just didn't have that charisma
No.
factor, man. He once again, I'm watching Keith, and obviously, man, I was not very familiar with Keith Larson's, but as I'm watching it, he has all the talent in the world. Once again, Mike, I think it's the old Brad Armstrong
Yeah.
routine.
Yep.
You know, because when I think of guys who were just superb,
Yeah.
bell to bell, but
Yeah.
he just never
Tim
got.
Horner.
God, yeah.
Yeah.
But Tim Horner was another one, man.
Right.
And even when they put Brad and Tim together, that was one of, honestly,
Oh,
God, the
yeah.
Lightning
That was-
Express was one of my favorites because I'm like, hey, they got these two guys who just couldn't really seem to get it together on their own. Let's put them together. And they had some success,
Yeah.
you know, but still not as much as they probably should have had,
Right.
you know.
Yeah.
But let's see, man. Let's see what we got going on in the ring right now. We have Keith Larson's, and he's working over. Is that still Ivan?
Still
yeah,
Ivan.
Still Ivan, the
Of
workhorse.
course. Oh, yeah. Of
Yeah,
course.
it ain't gonna be Nikita.
No. No. Nikita's really still just very green
Yes,
at this
sir.
point. It's just so new.
And it wouldn't make sense for Nikita to be on the offense, the defense like
right.
that anyway.
Right.
You know,
Taking that heat.
exactly. You know, because Ivan's older at this point.
Right.
You know, Ivan has definitely seen the better part of his career by the time this match takes
Yes.
place.
Yeah.
You know, Mike, just to be a little honest with you, even as a kid watching Ivan, it was hard for me to take Ivan that seriously because he was the little old guy in the ring at that time. You know, now this was before I knew about
Not me.
his, you know,
Not
working.
me, son.
Really?
Like I said, when I saw live,
Right.
when I saw Ivan Koloff and had eye contact with him, that was fear.
That was
Straight fear.
Scared, man.
Straight
Scared.
fear. Scared me. And he was with Nikita. And,
Right.
he was with Nikita that night. And Nikita was walking around. But when I saw Ivan Koloff's eyes and face looking at me, that was done.
You know, to me, Ivan almost seemed like the evil scientist. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah,
the evil
yeah.
genius.
Oh,
you know?
yeah.
You know, Nikita,
Yeah.
obviously, Nikita was the muscle.
Right.
Obviously,
Yeah,
he was the
yeah.
one who would just go break
Yeah.
your legs. But Ivan was devious.
Yeah.
You know, he was conniving,
Yes.
man. He was pulling the strings.
Yes.
You know, Uncle Ivan was always the one, you
Right.
know, like I said, the puppet master.
Yeah.
And but I never took him seriously. Oh, excuse me. Let me phrase this correctly. I never took him as serious in the ring as I would a lot of the other heels
Right.
because
Right.
his physical appearance at this time of his career, just you know, he was older. He was a little bit smaller than the other
Right.
guys, and I honestly used to kind of worry about Ivan. I'm like, man, I hope somebody don't break his hip. You know what I'm saying? You know,
Well, he looked older. But I don't think he was that old.
as old as he really was.
Right.
Right. It's probably just years on the road, man, being
Oh,
a
for
wrestler.
sure.
I mean, you know, I
And
actually
of course, I mean, you shave your head and
grow that
your
goatee. Well,
Of course,
Chernobyl.
that's going to be the Chernobyl effect. Of
Effect,
course,
yes.
it's going to make you look like,
Well,
you're a
it's
lot
going to age you.
weathered.
Yeah, it's going to add 20 years to you, man.
Right.
And I mean, anytime you're going to get infected by any, you know, nuclear waste in any town like that,
It happens.
it happens, man. Sorry, guys, I just had a little technical thing. We're all good. We're all good, Mike.
All right.
I looked at the wrong
Fear.
one. Fear again, man. Talk about Ivan.
Fear.
But the podcast is still going. All right, but so let's get back to the match, brother. Why don't you tell us a little bit what's going on here, Mike?
All right. Well, Keith Larson has Ivan Koloff in a wrist lock right now,
Yes.
which I mean, it's a good rest hold for Ivan.
Yeah. Ivan needs a
Slow it
little
down a
help.
little bit,
We just talked about Ivan's age, you know.
But
man.
see, this is a time and era where you can get that wrist hold on and kind of work it, work the crowd, and get them into it, kind of take it down a little notch.
Yes, sir. Slow it down.
Yeah.
Slow down the pace.
Right.
Something I think modern wrestling has really lost, you know.
In certain parts, it has. I've watched a lot of the new product, and there are a lot of matches, a lot of good stuff where they let the guys go and kind of work that style again.
Okay, good, man. It's good to see that. You know, maybe I need to give the current product another try
Right.
because it's been a while.
Yeah.
And I do try to check in occasionally just to see. But, one thing I've always said, Mike, when I've talked to other friends, I think me and you discussed it as well. To me, watching Ole Anderson, for instance, which is who's in the matches we're watching, he could put someone like a Ricky Morton in an armbar for 20 minutes, and I am going to be stuck to that television for 20 minutes just watching an armbar. But it's because of the way Ricky would sell it and the way Ole would sell it.
So
Both of these guys,
excruciating.
it was. I mean, man, you felt so much emotion. But now, if I watch a current product match, and it's not just WWE, but it could be a TNA match, it could be an independent match, where I'm watching, in my opinion, what basically equates to a gymnastics routine.
Right.
Yeah, the athletics there. Yes, man, it's impressive. Yes, the bell-to-bell action is more intense. It is more extreme. It is more up tempo.
Yes.
But do I care?
I think that, and that's the thing too, is us being obviously from that different era of wrestling that we grew up on and used to, appeals to us, is is so much different now to what appeals to your new or current
That's
fans.
True. That's
because
true.
They want that
that spot after spot after spot. They want that athletic
that excitement, that
yes.
something happening all the time.
Yes, and to me, man, it's just not. Once again, that's cool if I care.
Right.
And that's the problem, man. Because we can go back to the Attitude Era and even ECW and stuff like that, where you would have those kind of up-tempo matches where you had spot after spot after spot, but you also had good characters in there as well.
Did, that you cared about.
And that you cared.
Yeah, you invested in and cared about.
Right.
For sure.
And but, man, we're going to get off that. Dude, I get on that soapbox every podcast. I've been noticing that, man. I always get back in my day, wrestling was so much better, but I believe that.
But we're sitting here watching back in the day now and kind of going over it.
Yeah, and enjoying it, man. Yeah. And as right now, we have Big Nikita. Big Nikita.
Finally into the match. And he is going against Big Ole Anderson.
Big Ole Anderson, man. We got two freight trains pretty much ramming into each other right now.
Yeah.
Who do you think would win in a straight up fight between these two?
Ole.
Without a doubt.
Ole.
Without 100%, man.
Yeah.
Bench press competition, Nikita. Absolutely.
Right.
Absolutely. You get them in the gym, but God, man, these guys are just beating the shit out of each other.
Look, because you go back to that strength and look now. Nikita has Ole Anderson in a straight up pickup bear hug.
Yes. And Ole is over here selling it like his life is expiring in front of us.
Yeah. And Nikita's doing it with no problems.
No. He just picked up this huge man. Ole had to be 300 pounds at this time, man. Maybe 270. I mean, he was a big guy, man.
Yeah.
And I mean, muscle.
Oh,
man. And this guy was nothing
just
but
mass.
bulk, man.
Yeah.
And Nikita just picked this man up like he was a rag doll.
Yeah.
And Ole Anderson being as mean and tough and ugly as he is, he's selling this thing, ladies and gentlemen.
You didn't see Ole in this situation.
Not often, brother. No, sir. And, man, when you did,
oh, yeah.
He's like, just as we're watching now, he is over here selling it, man. I see Ole Anderson right now should get
that's
an
the
Oscar.
thing. Well, and that's the thing about Ole. A lot of people talk about Ole not selling for anybody.
The hell, man.
But, see, that was the thing. He didn't sell for little guys.
That's right.
He didn't sell for a big guy.
He's selling for Nikita. And you also got to think, man, he didn't really sell a lot for the babies because the psychology of those matches, he really didn't have to. Who's he supposed to sell to? Ricky Morton? I'll get back.
That's what I'm saying. That little baby that, like.
It doesn't make sense.
No.
It doesn't make. Now, he would for the Road Warriors.
Yeah.
He would for Dusty.
Yeah.
But he, not Ricky Morton, man. Yeah. But he would still let Ricky and Robert go over.
Oh, yeah.
It was always a roll-up or it was some sort of athletic, quick. Once again, man, the psychology was there. Something I think that modern-day wrestling really could have a little bit of.
And we talk about Ole, a lot, being that old guy, that curmudgeon-y,
Oh, yes, man, yes.
Sour, the
hating, man, just hating on everything.
But Ole was.
He's great.
He was great.
Oh, no,
honestly, I thought Ole was great as a booker, as a worker.
Sure, absolutely. He was a great horseman.
A talker.
He was.
It goes back to like the Assassin #1, and his promos. Everything I liked about it. Everything at that time when I was a kid, I feared him.
Yes.
Because I believed every word Ole Anderson said.
Yes. And you know what, Mike? And we all know that it's predetermined. It's a work, quote unquote. But man, Ole not only made you believe it, but I think Ole believed it himself. Yeah. And I think that's what made him great, man. I think the ones who truly lived it and breathed it and ate it, slept it like Ole Anderson, Dusty Rhodes is another one, man. Nikita's one. Hey, man, I'll put Nikita over all day. This man learned Russian. This man changed his name.
Yeah.
Dude, that's commitment.
Yeah.
Then like I said, man, you got to just give it to these old guys who just got it.
I look, Nikita just picked him straight out of that
Again.
corner in another bear hug.
Yes. Now we also should maybe put a little bit of emphasis on, once again, it's another bear hug. You're not getting a clinic here, ladies and gentlemen.
No.
You're getting strength. You're getting a beat down. You're not getting a bunch of chain wrestling
And
here.
here's the thing. Here's the weird, I guess, situation here is because you got Keith Larson and Ole Anderson as a team, and Ole Anderson's taking all the heat on
Yes,
this.
he is. Yes, he
he's
is.
taking every bit of this heat. Where you would think it would
It'd be the other way around.
with Keith Larson being that white meat,
Smaller,
baby, somebody.
blonde mullet.
But it looks like it's going to be up. To keep, they're putting that ball in the hand of Keith Larson's to
come in,
to make that comeback,
and get that save in there.
Yeah.
And it makes you also think, Mikey, that this is Ole Anderson having enough foresight and enough knowledge of his match to know that Keith Larson is maybe not prepared to be in that spot yet.
That's
you know what I'm saying? Ole's like, I don't think Keith can take the heat.
Right.
And get it over, because my God, man,
true.
As I'm watching this match in real time, I'm seeing an Ole Anderson in a completely different light.
Yeah.
And okay, now, ladies and gentlemen, he's going to Keith now, and he makes the tag to Keith Larson. Keith is in. Old man Ivan is in. No, I'm sorry. Nikita's still Nikita. It is still Nikita.
Yeah.
And I shouldn't call him
Ivan come in.
Yeah, Ivan's going to come in. Keith Larson is taking them both on right now. We're about to have a noggin knocker.
Oh right
man,
there.
and there it went.
But see, that was always one of those things. And I'll go back to that because anybody with a shaved head usually did a headbutt.
Headbutts, yes.
Headbutts, and would kill the other person.
Yeah, it's like the hair made him. I guess it's just off skull now.
Yeah,
the hair softened it.
It softened the blow whenever you had hair. But
you take that hair off,
boom, lethal weapon.
Brick wall, baby.
Lethal weapon.
All day long.
And then you have two bald heads colliding into each other.
It was like a nuclear reaction, man. It was like splitting fucking atoms, bro. If you had Superstar Billy Graham and Nikita butt heads, man, you will hear that shockwave across the nation, brother. And that immovable object, irresistible force, people.
Now he hits him with the Russian hammer. And not a lot of people remember the Russian hammer.
The Russian hammer was illegal.
Yeah.
It was
basically a choke takedown.
Yeah, it was a choke slam in a way.
Without leaving your feet.
Yeah. It was.
Yeah.
But now, do you remember when Vladimir Petrov actually did the hammer?
Yeah, the flying hammer.
The flying. That's right. He came off the ropes. You're right. That's right. That was a big son of a bitch, man.
Yes.
He was a big man, but he just never.
He couldn't get to that level Nikita had got.
No. And I think a lot of it too, Mike, was just politics was changing. Okay, here we go. Let's get back to this match.
Nikita just sickled Don Cornetto on the outside. Oh my God!
His head off.
Look at those people getting up and just.
They're calling the cops, man.
Oh,
hey,
whoa.
We got people like literally
shaking Don,
checking on him in the crowd.
Hey, don't shake him. Because he's got a neck injury still,
and he just got the most devastating hold.
Yeah.
In professional wrestling at this time, which was the Russian
Don't
sequel.
shake the man.
No, he's already got broken bones.
Yeah.
And Ivan had just got the pin on Keith Larson.
Yeah.
The match is
with
over
the Russian chain.
With the chain.
Yeah, with the use of the Russian chain.
Yes. So once again, what a great match, man.
Now here we go. Now they're going to try and do to Keith Larson what they did to Don Cornetto in that cage.
So they got the chain. Ivan is going to the top, and here comes Don with the crutch, and he is beating the hell out of Ivan. Put him down, Ivan.
he just broke that crutch over Ivan's back.
People say it's fake. The hell it's fake.
Yeah.
Take him down, Don.
He just hit him straight up in the throat.
He's hitting him for real, ladies and gentlemen. This is for real. He just came down on Nikita like he just hit a home run on Ivan Koloff's head just now, people.
Yeah.
If that would have been a baseball, it would have been out the park. Twice.
Yeah.
Twice. What a match, man.
This is huge.
This was a great match.
Yeah.
This one, this should have been for a belt. Yeah. You know what I'm saying, Mike?
I think honestly, luckily, I think Don came in and made that save and did the deal with the crutch, so the Russians could get out of Greensboro alive.
Yeah, because man, I love, and I'm sure a lot of the people that listen to us listen to other shoot interviews like with Cornette. I love hearing those old stories about not being able to get out of Greensboro alive. I think Ole that got cut.
Oh God!
I mean,
a
few times, if I'm not mistaken. But I know at least once.
Yeah.
That it was really bad.
Yeah.
Like he said he was holding his guts in pretty much going to the back. Hell, man, they set Kevin Sullivan's van on fire one time down in Florida.
Yep.
God, you just don't get heat like that anymore, man.
No, absolutely not.
It's like that magic is kind of left us, but
that's right.
It's good for the workers, though, man. At least they don't have to worry about, getting stabbed. I thought it was hilarious, man, listening to Jim Cornette talking about actually putting horseshoes in his tennis racket, not for the matches, but to help get him out of the buildings. It's like he literally had to gimmick that tennis racket for his own protection, man. It's nuts. Yep. It's nuts, man.
Yeah.
So anyway, man, what a match. Ole Anderson, I think Ole definitely gets the MVP, excuse me, for this
for sure.
for this match. He put it all on his back. Nikita was great as always. Ivan always is great.
That was the thing. Ole was working Georgia at the time.
Right.
So it was kind of a deal for him to come up into this.
Yeah. Anyway. Yeah. Just to even be in Greensboro to begin with. Yeah. Right. But yeah, man, what a match. So far, I don't know if I'd say match of the night. I'm still kind of leaning toward the Paul Jones Boogie Woogie Man match, but then again, bro, that's because I'm such a boogie monk,
I think this tag match was definitely a good tag match.
Yes, absolutely.
And put over that feud. Definitely a feud's far from over.
Right.
But I think Keith did a great job in this match, and I'm not sure why he didn't go any further than this.
Right.
I don't know what why he didn't get I guess the work that he should have, as far as especially with his brother. His brother's right there.
Yeah.
I don't know how he just didn't get that.
And it seems like Don wasn't around a whole lot longer, was he?
No. I mean, he would do his deals with the singles. Of course, moving on after the whole Koloff feud. This animosity was still there. They kind of went in that, but Don would go on to do singles matches have great single matches against Tully.
Oh, that is right. Yes,
for that TV title.
TV belt. That's correct. Right.
But the next time we would really see Don in any kind of big role would be Starrcade '85 in the corner of Rock and Roll Express against the Koloffs.
The Russians. That's right.
Because let's see, it wasn't long after this that they had brought in Crusher Khrushchev.
Yes, that's right. The sympathizer, man. Yes. Another one of them Minnesota boys.
Yes.
That we've talked about.
Very Darso.
Yeah, man. Well, just, I know we've touched on it, Mike, but, man, let's just reiterate it again, how great that region was.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, Jesus, man. The amount of talent that came out of Minnesota. We will definitely have to do a podcast strictly on that. I mean, man, we could talk all day about Sheik and Flair alone.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, not to mention everybody else that came out. But speaking of people coming out, Mike, what's our next match, brother?
I tell you what, another guy that was in that Minnesota crew wasn't from Minnesota, but was trained
right.
Ricky Steamboat.
Yes, sir. Some would say the greatest babyface of all time.
Absolutely.
And I cannot really argue that.
Actually, I would say top 5, if not top 3.
If not top 3, man. I lean toward maybe number 1, man. He is so far up there.
I liked his early work.
Yes.
I would say probably WrestleMania 3.
Okay. Right.
Better than anything.
See,
especially this era.
Oh, no, he was on fire, man, during this time. See, now, man, my favorite Steamboat era was the Flair feud in '88.
Really?
Yes, man. Those series of matches he had with Flair, because I was always a huge Steamboat Flair fan.
Well, I think wrestling wise and athletically for sure, but I don't know. At that time, there was something different about Steamboat to me.
See, I think the difference is what I like. I know what you're saying.
Yeah.
And I can't put my finger on it. It was almost like there was Steamboat from WrestleMania 3, and then there was post-WrestleMania 3 Steamboat.
Yeah.
Something with that match with the Macho Man changed him. Some for the better, some for the worse, would say. Where I think it was better, where you're probably going with the opposite on that.
Yeah. Everything I think WrestleMania 3 for me is well, WrestleMania. I would say WrestleMania would be the peak. I would say the peak for me, as far as Rick's, not even his ring work, because his ring work was always fantastic.
Phenomenal, yes.
But I guess his character I guess his character portrayal and,
Sure.
and his, I guess, his persona.
But yeah, and I will say this, man, it definitely was his peak of exposure,
Right.
without a doubt,
Yeah.
man. See, now to me, my Steamboat, the reason I put Steamboat so high up on the list, man, is he's never been a bad guy.
Right.
He was never a heel, man.
Right.
I don't see how you could turn him heel.
No.
Now, obviously, if you do anything, you can make anything work if it's,
Yeah, exactly.
And obviously, Steamboat was the professional. He could have done it.
Right.
But he never did it, man.
Huh?
And but those matches he had with Flair,
Oh yeah.
because to me, him in the Macho Man match really made him.
Well,
you know.
Flair will even tell you, a lot of people tell him that, that was the greatest match they'd ever seen. And he'll tell you that they had,
10 times better matches in the early 80s.
Yeah.
And like in Japan. I
that
think
nobody recorded, nobody saw.
There's not on
Right.
video. Yeah.
No.
Seems like he maybe even mentioned one in Japan, for
Yeah.
instance. It was like nobody recorded it.
Right.
It's lost. It's gone. It was like 10 times better.
Yeah.
And I'm over like, Jesus, man, how much better
Yeah.
can you? Because those matches, Mike.
Oh,
Oh
yeah.
my God.
Oh, I know.
Because when Ricky first came back to challenge Flair, I was like, oh my God, there he is.
It was huge.
It was huge,
Yeah.
man.
It was
And
huge. I don't understand. Well, you go back and watch that again, but it was kind of one of those weird deals that they would put it on the Saturday night show.
yeah, right.
Instead of like one of the
A
bigger
pay-per-view or something, right.
or one of the bigger shows with a bigger crowd.
Right. It would
You
just
know,
be kind of right
right.
there, in the studio.
Yeah.
Pretty much. But man, what great
Oh,
matches,
yeah.
man. What great,
For sure.
But yeah, I do think it's a trip how Steamboat does kind of have that pre and post WrestleMania 3. It's but man, during his time right now during 1984, just talk about being on fire.
Oh
man.
yeah, I mean, you can look at him and see.
Oh God, man.
Yeah.
And it's another one of those situations where this guy could have been a fucking model.
Yeah.
Really, man.
Oh,
Ricky
yeah.
Steamboat was just such a good-looking guy,
Yeah.
man.
Yeah,
All
he
the
did-
women loved him,
He
man.
did all the bodybuilding.
Yes, man.
Competitions.
Yes, and won them.
Yeah.
I mean, he would enter them and win them,
Yeah.
And, like, all the guys respected him. Like I said, man, we've talked about that before, and especially in professional wrestling, if you can get that combination to where the guys respect you and know that you're the real deal and the women are in love with you, man, how can you go wrong?
Yeah.
And Steamboat had both of those in spades.
Yeah.
He was tremendous, man. And then on top of that, man, his bell to bell, as we're watching here against Tully Blanchard.
Let's flip that coin and talk
Wow.
about to me, heel. You
Yeah.
want to talk heel? Top 5,
Tully-
top 3.
Tully Blanchard.
Tully Blanchard, without
yes.
a doubt.
We have the epitome of heel and
There-
baby, right?
That is the firecracker. That is to me, he is the heel of heels.
Yes, the
He is-
franchise
he
back
is-
in the day.
He is that chicken shit, that cocky, arrogant,
Talk this
will
shit.
do anything.
Will cheat to win. Can't beat you on his own.
Right.
But you think he can, but he can beat the enhancement
Right.
without a problem,
Yeah.
man. I love that slingshot suplex. I
Oh.
love that move.
Thing of beauty.
It'll never come back. Nobody could ever pull it off
Right.
again.
No.
No, never.
No.
But yeah, man, you just want to talk about somebody because even Flair,
Now this is for the TV title.
TV, yes,
Yeah.
yes. And I was just about to say, man, even with Flair as a heel, Flair always had his fans.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Flair, it was
For
kind of
sure.
what we were just talking about, man. That people are still going to like you. They're still going to. Tully was not
No.
like that.
Nope.
People hated
Yeah.
Tully. I hated.
And that was
Oh.
the thing Tully could convey is he just
I'm better.
I'm better than anybody.
Yes.
Yeah.
I can beat you in wrestling. I can beat you in life.
Yeah.
I got more money.
Yeah.
My girl's hotter.
Right.
He did all that horseman stuff years before became a horseman.
Yeah. For
And-
sure. Yeah. Definitely. I mean, it was there. It was always there. You can see it here. Now, this is for the TV title. We've got Steamboat put up what was it, $10,000?
Yeah, it was $10,000.
His money against Tully
And the belt for the belt.
for the belt,
Right.
and you got the no run rule, no disqualification rule.
Right.
It's been waived. So
There's gotta be a
Tully's-
winner.
Tully's backed into this corner, man. He can't. I think the time limit's been waived.
Yeah.
So there's no time limit where there's usually a
10-minute, I believe. Was
10,
it 10 or
15?
15?
20-minute time
Yeah.
limit on the TV title.
Yes.
He would, do everything that he could to extend that time.
Yes.
Or, go outside the ring and waste time.
Get disqualified.
Get disqualified, get counted out,
Yes.
everything. So all that is done, gone. There is no doing that here.
And think about the build up to that, Mike. Think
Oh,
about all this television time, man. You're talking at least probably a year or so. I don't know how long until they had that belt going into this match. But you got to think about all this time spent of just chicken shitting his way into keeping that title.
Yeah.
Whether that was by time limit draws or being disqualified or whatnot. And the good guy just can't get it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying, man? You're this close every freaking time. And not only is the baby face getting frustrated, but the fans are legitimately pissed off now.
Oh, yeah.
Because, once again, just like you said, Mike, we're talking about Tully Blanchard, one of the top 3 heels of all time. And look at him now, man. Now he's strutting around. He finally gets Ricky Steamboat in the corner. He scratches his eyes. He pulls an illegal maneuver. And he's over here acting like he just did something for real.
Yeah.
I love it, man. I just love it.
Yeah. And, Tully won this title at the beginning of '84.
Okay, so this
in that tournament at the beginning of '84, I think he beat. What's he beat?
It wasn't Wahoo, was it?
I think he. No, he didn't win it in the tournament. He won it from no, he didn't win it in the tournament. Mark Youngblood won it in the tournament. Then Tully beat Mark Youngblood.
That's right. Okay.
For the TV title.
Right. So he's had that belt for about a year. Into this.
He's officially Tully is still officially the longest reigning world television title holder at 353 days.
I did not know that.
At this, from this reign, his first time having it.
Right.
And eventually he'd get beaten by Dusty Rhodes.
Right.
At the Bash of '85.
Yep. I remember that match. And then now that was also the ladder match, correct? Was that the ladder match? With the
no, that was the cage.
That's right, because the ladder match was for the money.
Right.
I think it was for like 10 grand or something like that.
Yeah,
Bob
that was
Wire,
86.
Yeah, man, you talk about just gimmicked out, man.
Yeah.
You had Bob Wire for ropes and a ladder.
Yeah.
The first ladder match. That's the first one I remember.
All right.
It may not have been the first one, but it was definitely the first one I remember.
Yeah.
Years before Shawn and Razor, years. So, Mark, let's get back to the action in the ring, brother.
Tully's doing his best to run.
Yes.
Just to do anything to get outside, get away from Steamboat, who's had the advantage for pretty much
the whole match.
Yeah.
Yeah, he is reigning pretty much strong in this whole thing. Now Tully has the advantage now.
Right.
Tully just gave a tremendous back body suplex here. And, man, once again, these guys are putting on the quintessential wrestling match. You have your known heel, you have your known baby, and they're both playing their roles exactly the way they're supposed to be playing.
All right.
And,
and here's the thing with Steamboat and Tully, and it's really a 180 from what we saw in the tag match where, there was a lot of rest.
Yes.
A lot of getting over. Steamboat and Tully go.
They haven't stopped.
They are non-stop.
Yeah, there's not been one chin lock, not one wrist lock.
You got a couple, arm bars here and there, but
those are chains.
These guys are go.
Yes.
And go and go.
There's been very.
And that's
little.
the thing about both the guys, Steamboat and Tully, because Tully's cardio was just.
Oh, through the roof, man.
Yeah,
through the
Steamboat
roof.
as well.
Yeah, well, once again, man, Steamboat was a bodybuilder. He was into those competitions, man. These guys lived in the gyms. I mean, if they weren't in the bars, they were in the gyms.
Yeah.
And I think Steamboat was never really much of a partier anyway.
No.
I don't think. I think he was pretty clean.
Yeah.
He ate clean. I remember reading some interviews and stuff, about his diet and his workout routine, and he was pretty on point, man, as far as living a good lifestyle. Probably not like Tully. Tully's probably out doing a little bit more partying, obviously, maybe partaking in some things here and there. But, Steamboat,
but
man,
his cardio
was through the roof.
Yeah.
Was through the roof, man. All those guys, even like your non-traditionally athletic types had great cardio. Dusty, man. Dusty. Dick Murdoch. He was another one, man. He could go all day.
Yeah.
You couldn't get Dick Murdoch to blow up for nothing. Arn is a good example, man. Even like Kamala, man, I remember him going long, matches and not really ever blowing up, But these guys, kind of to flip the script, both these guys are in tremendous shape. Steamboat is in phenomenal shape at this time. He was always in phenomenal shape. But he is in super shape in this era.
Yeah.
And Tully is too. both these guys, man, are just in tip-top condition.
See, there you go with leapfrog.
Yeah, we have
leapfrog.
Yes.
Oh.
A great scoop slam right there. Or, excuse me, a power slam,
Yeah.
I should say. Ricky is just on point, man. These guys have not slowed down yet.
No.
They were putting on a clinic, an old-school wrestling clinic, is what me and Mikey are witnessing right now. Well, we hope you puds are going to witness as well. Go to the network or wherever you have your Starrcade 84, whether it's VHS or other means,
Right.
network, whatever. Put this thing on, guys. Watch this
I know. The first time I saw it, back in late '90s.
Right.
That was a big time for VHS tape trading.
Oh, yes,
Yeah,
man, yes,
that was
because the
the only way-
internet started coming in, yes.
And that was the only way you can get them.
Right.
Was through tape trading. VHS.
VHS. And, brother, we're talking copies of copies here, too.
Right.
90% of these tapes look like shit.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm just going to go ahead and put it out there, man. They look terrible.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
But it was what we had, and we loved it.
We had.
Oh, man, we get to tracking on that son of a bitch.
Of course, we were used to that anyway. With some of our spotty TV.
Right.
Some of our spotty TV shows, trying to get those in. And, a lot of the wrestling tapes, sometimes by the time we got a hold of them,
Bro.
Yeah.
You can almost see through the tape.
Yeah.
Because they've been overdubbed so many times.
Yeah.
But man, we enjoyed it, and man, we were happy to have them.
Yeah.
I know, man. Between you and Chris Stowe,
yeah,
I always could get tapes, or I could always watch tapes with somebody.
Yeah.
And man, because you guys had huge collections of these things, and
I think it was still. Well, you look over there and you can see that some of the remainder of. In the shelf, some of the remainder over there. In fact, I think if I'm not mistaken, you see Starrcade 84 and that brown label.
I see it. Yeah.
Over there.
Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, Mikey actually has his VHS collection. I never even noticed it, man, until you point. I'm like, oh Jesus, it looks like Blockbuster from 1990 up in this motherfucker. But yeah, I'm actually looking at the video of Starrcade 84 as we're watching Tully Blanchard and Ricky Steamboat.
I don't know about Blockbuster, maybe more like Bootleg Buster.
Village Video.
Yeah.
Shout out to Village Video. And our LinkedIn people will know that one.
It's definitely straight copy from.
Yes.
Oh, Steamboat just hit Tully with a slingshot suplex. I've never seen another person.
Me neither. First time, man, that I recall. I've seen this video before, but I don't remember it, man.
That's the first time I ever recall anybody else doing that move at all.
At all. And you notice how quick Tully kicked out that bad boy, too.
Yeah.
Makes you wonder, man, if that was planned.
Right.
Because isn't it kind of a thing, Mike, and you would know this better than I would, but isn't it sort of a diss if a wrestler uses another wrestler's finisher on them? Is that considered a diss, or is it dependent on... I guess it would depend on the situation, obviously.
Well, see, that's the thing, I always think about, every Flair match that every babyface used the figure 4 on Flair.
That's true. That is true. You're right. Yeah, you are right.
Yeah.
I guess it would just depend on the situation, but I can't help but wonder because I've never seen anybody do that to Tully.
No.
That's what I'm wondering.
I think it's one of those things. Tully was I think Tully's got something in his hand right here.
Yes, he does, and he's also busted open late. Oh,
missed.
He did a wild swing. He missed. We got a belly to back. Oh, and Tully hit him in the forehead with the quarters.
Got him.
Got him straight up, people.
Got him.
What a bastard. Yeah. What a bastard, Tully Blanchard. Yeah. I'm still giving you heat after all this time.
Got him with that foreign object or whatever it is, wherever it was from, some foreign place.
It was from China or Indonesia. Yeah. It was not from America.
Yep.
Because American objects are okay.
All right.
I'm so impressed. Oh, wow. Tully Blanchard just hit Ricky Steamboat with a flying body block, and Ricky kicked out, ladies and gentlemen.
A running flying.
A running one, man. This was not off the top rope or any of the ropes. This was straight up flying cross body block, and it was a good one. So we still see Ricky. Oh, man, Ricky Steamboat's dazed. He's out of it. He's throwing punches in the air. Tully is taking control, Mike. Tully has got him down. It looks like he's setting up.
He's going for it.
The slingshot suplex. No. Oh, no, he's setting him up for a superplex, perhaps.
Looks like.
It looks like Tully's got Ricky in the ropes here in the corner. He has got him on the second rope. Tully has set him up for a superplex, people. If he hits it, this could be it. This could be all for the Dragon.
Nope.
Oh, no.
Blocked.
And Ricky Steamboat is on the top rope.
Oh, wow.
Oh, my God. Here we go. And here we got a flying body splash off the top rope onto Tully Blanchard. 1, 2, and only a 2 count.
He always had like a really good flying body splash.
Yes, man.
With that.
Ricky was one of those people that would actually momentarily freeze in the air.
Sunset flip.
Oh,
back to that
and he got the foreign object.
Oh,
1,
my God.
2, 3. Ricky Steamboat's pinned by Tully Blanchard.
And $10,000 poor.
Poor, yes. And still, the NWA television heavyweight champion, Tully Blanchard.
Wow.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have witnessed a miscarriage of justice here is what we have just
what
witnessed.
a great match.
What a great match, man. What a great match.
Two.
These guys, once again, people, go back and watch this match. Go back and watch Ricky Steamboat versus, as of right now, definitely.
And I consider it the greatest television champion of all time.
Yeah, totally, yeah. I always would go between him and Arn.
Yeah.
I never could put one over the other.
I would say Tully.
You put, I would almost inch Arn out, but.
See, I always consider Arn more that tag team.
Yeah, and another thing I'll say about Arn is he didn't need the belt as much either. You know, Tully looked better with the belt. He worked better with the belt.
Yeah, for sure.
But I kind of do inch. Now, I'll tell you who, when I think of the national champion, I think of Tully.
Yeah.
I always thought of him, man. When I thought of that title, I was like, yeah, that was Tully's belt.
Right.
Arn, I always would inch out just slightly over Tully as far as being my television champion.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, we saw another sunset flip. That's
for the true believers.
That's definitely on the inside of the
yes,
inside.
Man. I'm hoping at least 1 or 2 people screamed out there, but that's all I'm going to say about that.
Yeah.
Haven't done that in a while.
No, what a great match that was. That was,
as of right now, best match of the night.
For sure.
100%, man.
Yeah.
And Mike, let's reiterate just briefly what we discussed, man. Because this match, not only did we have 2 tremendous talents, but we had, as we both agreed, possibly in the top 3 of their respective sides. In other words, Tully is definitely in the top 3 heels, whereas Ricky is definitely in the top 3 baby faces.
Yes.
We had 2 masters of their craft playing their roles exactly the way they're supposed to be played.
Right.
And man, what did we get out of it? We got a classic.
Right.
We got a classic. That 30 years later, 30 plus years later, we can come back and be like, wow, man, that's hard to top.
Yeah.
And that's where we're at. And so yeah, man. So once again, Starrcade 84 has been a tremendous show. We're not done yet, man. We still have, I believe, 2 more matches, if I'm not mistaken.
2 more matches. Actually, we've got coming up Superstar Billy Graham.
Oh, now is this Kung Fu Billy Graham?
This is Kung Fu Master Billy Graham.
From Calcutta.
Oh,
my goodness.
Kung Fu Master from Singapore.
I love Superstar Billy Graham.
Me too, man.
I love Superstar.
This was, of course, at that time, Billy Graham was down in Florida.
Right.
Working, and, Dusty brought him up to work against Wahoo, which, I never, Once again, it happens.
It is what it is.
It happened. Billy Graham.
It's on video, so we can't deny it.
There you go. But, look, talk about another just
jacked. Man, Superstar, we're watching Superstar or Ninja Star do his flexing right now.
Stop it.
This guy. It's one of my least favorite angles, man, because I love the tie-dye. I always thought Billy Graham could have gave Flair a run at this time if he was in his gear.
Right.
If he was Superstar Billy Graham and not Nunchuck Billy Graham,
Jesus.
But Jesus, man, I mean, it's just such a drop ball, in my opinion, man.
Yeah.
Because to this day, one of my favorite promos ever was by Superstar Billy Graham, which makes sense given how many promos this guy gave and how great they were. But it was something along the lines of, it was during the arm wrestling thing. It was when Superstar was doing the arm wrestling.
Right.
And he said something to the point of he was the greatest arm wrestler on Earth. And if there was arm wrestlers on Mars, he'd be the greatest arm wrestler in the universe. Dude, that's fucking great, man. He was like, if there's arm wrestlers on Mars, I'd be the best.
He could talk the rap, man.
With the best.
Yeah. Oh,
dude,
absolutely.
I would even put him in the top 3 of that. Hey, man, when you're the guy who inspires Hulk Hogan,
Dusty.
And
Jesse Ventura and countless others.
Yes, man. I mean, Dude, you know, we're talking top threes here and there about these different things. Top 3 promo cutters of all time has to be the Superstar,
Yes.
brother. He walked it way before anybody else walked that walk and talked that talk.
That's right.
And now he's going against Wahoo McDaniel, who's one of my all-time personal favorites.
Wahoo
Man.
was. I still think so much of Wahoo.
Yes. Dude, he's iconic.
Yeah.
He's iconic, man. Now, he's not mainstream iconic, but to
No.
the people who are in the know.
Yeah.
You
And from this area,
Oh, man.
you can still say the name Wahoo, and
Everybody knows.
everybody knows.
Everybody knows it. And
Yeah.
not only do they know it, man, but it's given with this such reference and such just exalted.
Yeah.
You
And
know.
at this time, Wahoo's a heel.
He was the bad guy.
Yeah.
He was the bad guy. And he was still loved, man. You could tell because he was, once again, brother.
It was a hard pill to swallow with Wahoo
Well,
turning
yeah,
heel.
yeah. Which is why it didn't last long.
Right.
You know, they saw that. Dusty was smart enough to, "Oh, we tried it.
Yeah.
Ain't working. Because Wahoo was tough, man. Wahoo
Oh
was,
my God.
And Wahoo was kind of mean in
Yeah.
real life. So I can understand why you would try it. But at the end of the day, man, people just loved Wahoo.
Yeah. Yeah.
For obvious reasons.
Absolutely.
Man. He was so great. Just such a huge fan.
Yeah.
One of my favorite feuds of all time, White Pain, was him and Jimmy Garvin. Honestly, the shit that they
Right.
talked to each
Yeah.
other.
Yeah.
Cause man, you know, and I know.
Oh my God. Yeah. It was definitely.
It was so hot.
It was hot, and
And I know we
honestly, a lot of the stuff Jimmy said about Wahoo
was rough.
It was rough.
It was a little
not
racist,
PC.
man. No, it was
Not
a little
PC
racist.
at all.
But what I loved about it, now, and I know we got to stick on point, man, and I know we got a match with him and Superstars. We're watching it, but I just want to just talk briefly about why I loved him and Jimmy so much because they were so opposite.
Right.
They were so. Wahoo McDaniel was to the point. He was straight up. He was serious, and Jimmy wasn't.
No.
Jimmy was the complete opposite
Yeah.
of that.
Oh, yeah.
Jimmy was a pretty boy.
Yep.
Wahoo wasn't.
That's right.
You know, Wahoo was tough. Jimmy wasn't.
Yep.
But Jimmy talked so much smack.
Oh yeah.
And like you said, man, we won't go into everything that Jimmy would say here and there because it's not politically correct and it's not cool. And we talked about, you know, racist and non-PC stuff. We've talked about that almost every week, unfortunately,
Yeah.
given the era that we do review.
Yeah.
But, man, I will say this much about it. At least when Jimmy did it, there was a little bit of humor to
Right.
it. It didn't seem as mean.
Right. It wasn't mean spirited.
Yes,
Yeah.
thank you. And Wahoo got back.
Oh yeah.
You know,
He
that
took
was the
every bit of
thing.
that back.
He got it back, man.
Yep.
If you was offended by what Jimmy said, don't worry. Wahoo's going to take care of
Yeah.
it. And boy, howdy, did he take
That's
care
right.
of it. You know, speaking of taking care of it, man, let's talk about these two giants
Yes.
of the industry right now, man. Wahoo McDaniel and Billy Graham.
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, it's such a strange thing to see.
Yes.
It really is. It's one of those matches that, like I said before, it's one of those kind of things that kind of came out of nowhere.
Right. It was just like all of a sudden, now these guys have some tension and we're going to put them in this match.
Right.
You know, not
And
for,
now he's got the.
is it the U.S. title?
Oh yeah, it's for the U.S. title,
Right.
which Wahoo has.
Right.
Now Billy Graham has him in the full Nelson.
Yes.
And this is Billy Graham's.
Finisher.
This is his move now.
Yes. But now, if you notice, he doesn't have his fingers locked.
Nope.
And that's the whole psychology behind this match.
Right.
Until you
Well,
lock
he gets-
those fingers, you do not have it locked in.
Right.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, Wahoo is fighting it, and he breaks it. Wahoo
Yeah.
takes the spirit of all of his ancestors, and he brings them in.
All right, Jimmy Garvin, calm down.
You're right.
Yeah.
It's 2018.
Right.
Um,
Well, see,
but-
it's a weird match. Here's the weird thing about this match because here we go again. It's almost like Billy Graham is playing that heel part, in which
Right.
he came from Florida. You know, that was kind of his in between from a heel and baby, because he was just coming out of that thing with Kevin Sullivan's army or whatever. It's
Right.
called, Kevin Sullivan's cult.
right. Colt. I was going to say,
Yeah,
I believe it was
yeah.
Colt, yeah.
But you know, it's almost like, you know, the roles are reversed here. That, you know, Wahoo's kind of going,
Baby?
you know, this kind of in the baby role right
Right.
now, and the Superstar's in that heel role,
Right. It's like you said, man, they flipped.
which is weird. It's such a weird match.
And what's so weird, and something to add to that, Mike, it would make sense because both of those guys should have been flipped.
Right.
I feel in this match. In other words, I feel like the role should be flipped.
And see, here we go with the Wahoo hits him with the
With
big
that
chop
chop.
coming off the ropes, and
The realest move of all time.
2, 3.
And that's it.
That's it.
That's it, man. 100. It's a chop, and the heel just beat the baby, a former champion with a chop, and that's it. Finish, and that's the end of the match.
Wow.
Kind of anticlimactic, Mike.
I want to say this match probably lasted about, what, 5 minutes?
5 minutes tops. Tops, man. Kind of anticlimactic. I'm going to be completely honest with you, Mike. As we're watching it, not too much drama to this.
Wow.
Man.
Yeah. That's one of the... Like,
definitely not match of the night. Now Superstar's over here and he's complaining about the tights being pulled, which would have made sense since Wahoo was a heel, but he didn't do that.
I don't recall
No, he didn't.
seeing him pull the tights out. We're going to watch
Let's
it on
watch a
replay.
replay. Let's watch it in slow
Solid.
motion.
Boom.
I mean, he hit him for real. I mean, that's the thing. When he would hit you with that chop, he hit you for real.
See,
No, he just hooks
that's
the leg.
thing. He's got both his hands on the shoulders.
Yeah. Hooks the leg. 1, 2, 3. Match is over.
Well, see, that's
Wahoo's-
another thing. Billy Graham kind of seems like he's coming off as that hey, you pulled my
He's-
tights heel
when
kind
he-
of trick to
right.
the referee.
Which he was a baby.
Oh my
Yeah.
God, it's such a strange match.
And Mike, I can almost go as far as say the whole card has been. Well, I was going to wait to the end of the show or end of the match to say this, but I'm going to go ahead and say it now. Without a doubt, Starrcade 84 is my least favorite Starrcade of the golden era.
Really?
Of the golden era.
Okay.
I would say up until 88-ish. And I even liked the 88, man. I never cared for the main event. But I would say that, man, 80, 85, and 83, and 86 are my top 3, probably in that order.
Okay.
Give or take. Give or take. I consider 83 to be maybe the best of the golden era, maybe. Just, man, if for no other reason than that dog collar match. And I know we'll get to that eventually. That's going to be a thing.
We'll definitely get to that.
Absolutely. Sure. But so far, man, not in my opinion, not the best Starrcade, even though the highlights have been phenomenal.
Right.
The Tully match, once again, Tully and Steamboat match was great. The Larson match with Ole against the Russians were great. But obviously, the Boogie Woogie Man and Paul Jones was obviously obvious. The Dick Slater match obviously is great. But the other ones, man, not. Even some of the opener matches, which were good, like the Denny Brown match. Good, solid matches, but not a lot of drama in there,
right?
Man. Not a lot of psychology
right.
with it, And I don't even want to talk about the finish of our main event. We will talk about it, obviously.
Oh yeah.
Another reason, man, that 84 doesn't really stand out.
Now, let's see. Tony Schiavone's going to be interviewing. Oh, my Lord.
Oh, wow.
That's a lineup right there.
Mike, who are these people?
Let's see. That would be Duke Kamuka.
You all right?
Who was big wrestling-wise. Joe Louis, who is the
yes, sir.
boxing legend,
yes.
and is going to be the referee for this world title match.
Yes,
and is that Kyle Petty?
It looks like Kyle Petty. I believe that is a very young
Kyle Petty.
With still got a baby mullet.
Well, see, that was the thing too, is they had these three, especially Joe Louis refereeing, these three men, and Kyle Petty.
Yeah.
For
whatever reason. Well, NASCAR. Charlotte, man, the Carolinas, man,
yeah.
and NASCAR and wrestling have always had a similar market. They've always shared that.
But these are the three judges.
Yes,
for this
the point
world
system. The point system, brother.
All right.
It was a thing.
Let's go ahead and get this out.
Let's go ahead and get the elephant out of the room, brother.
Yeah, let's go ahead and get this out of the way. Okay, see.
On a score.
Here we go into this thing for the World Wrestling Heavyweight title, $1 million.
$1 million. That's right. That's right.
You got three judges. When any other time have you had judges in a wrestling match?
The only other one I remember, Mike, to be completely honest with you, was the Ric Flair Ricky Steamboat match when Terry Funk came back.
Yes.
But that was for an angle.
And Terry Funk was one of those judges.
One of the judges who, of course, made that turn into an angle.
Right.
It was needed. But Mike.
Where else do you have these judges at?
Never.
Boxing.
Oh yeah, sure. Boxing, MMA, things like that. Right. Well, back in this day, it was just boxing.
Just
MMA
boxing.
was still not
Right.
around yet. Maybe kickboxing, but
Yeah.
whatever. Boxing is what we're getting
Yes.
to.
Why?
Well, now, Mike. Now, in all fairness, man, there's always been a score point system in professional wrestling. It always had been alluded to. Always, I always would remember hearing. Well, in points, this guy would have won. I remember Gorilla Monsoon saying that a few times.
I can understand that in amateur wrestling.
But I'm talking pro, man. I mean, even
Why the hell would you ever need that?
Never. I'll tell you, the only time I can remember a point system even being remotely entertaining was the Dudley Boys and Joe Gertner in ECW. Do you remember when Joe Gertner would always give the points or give the score after the Dudleys would lose? On a score,
Right.
Now that was hilarious, but obviously it was a goof.
Yeah.
It was a goof, But now, in all fairness, yeah, man, we all know it's hokey. We all know it's not real. How would you score points in a wrestling match?
That's what I'm saying. It's like, what? How in the hell?
But now, once again, Mike, to play devil's advocate,
I think it is just running up some unnecessary bullshit.
It's bullshit, man. Yeah, no, it's absolutely what it was. With the Terry Funk Ric Flair thing, it was really cool for the storyline going into that angle, that would go on to become some great matches and everything. But all in all, man, the point system, come on.
Right.
Come on.
Now, let's talk about this grand entrance here.
Yes, sir.
We got the challenger, the American Dream, Dusty Rhodes.
If you will.
Yeah, you will not hear this on the network.
No. But he's coming out.
He's coming out to Purple Rain.
Purple Rain. And
it works.
Epic. It was epic.
It works for whatever reason. It
epic.
Works.
The man's coming to the ring. There's a purple light on him. He's wearing a purple robe. Obviously, the network can't use the music.
Yeah,
Obviously,
exactly.
it's such a travesty.
It doesn't put it over at all.
Nowhere near it, man. But trust me, ladies and gentlemen,
and Prince was so big. At this.
Dude. Oh,
huge.
Prince ruled the world in 1984.
Yeah.
Prince was king in 1984, man. And in my opinion, Prince ruled the world up until the day he unfortunately passed away.
Right.
Anybody knows me knows I'm a huge Prince fan. Always have been. And Purple Rain is one of the greatest songs of all time, in my opinion. One of the greatest wrestlers of all time, in my opinion, Dusty Rhodes coming out to him wearing a purple robe with the purple lights all around him.
Who else could do this ever?
No one.
No.
No one. No one at no other time could pull it off. Dude, because you got to remember, man, we have Prince, who is a pop artist.
Yes.
And we have Dusty Rhodes, who was king of the country people.
Okay, yeah, we're in the Deep South.
Deep South here, man. And let's be honest with you, something else we bring up a lot, man. Prince definitely had a sort of an androgynous type vibe to him, man. He was a little fruity. It is what it is, man. It was part of his
anybody, gig. In this era, in this area, not just the era, but in this area, would have. It was the same with metal bands.
Yes.
Like Poison.
Oh God,
Bon
yeah,
Jovi,
man. Yes.
Yeah.
And you add the racial element on top of it, man.
Yeah.
It is what it is.
Yeah.
But who gets this thing over?
My God.
Dusty Rhodes, man.
Dusty Rhodes.
Dusty.
And
of all people.
And that's the
but
thing.
he's the only one that could.
And you look at using Kyle Petty. What the hell's Kyle Petty? Kyle Petty was huge at that time. Not as huge as his dad, but he was coming up.
He was huge, man.
And he was tapping into that younger audience, especially with that Prince.
Absolutely. And that's the thing about Kyle Petty, man, because he represented that new school of NASCAR that was coming out, man. With Dale, with Bill Elliott, Harry Gant. All those younger.
You're more up on that. That's your your area of expertise.
Well, my folks were huge fans.
Right.
I've always been.
I remember growing up seeing I knew Richard Petty, I knew the Kyle Petty, I knew Earnhardt.
Elliott was a big one. Gant was a big one. Allison, was a big one. But I wasn't a huge NASCAR fan. I've always kind of followed it, kind of did it, over the years. But the parents were huge. So that's how I knew about all these new schoolers coming in. And once again, man, the NASCAR crowd and the professional wrestling crowd in this area, damn near one the same. Yeah. Damn near. And Dusty, once again, had his fingers on that pulse, man. And that's... that's why he would bring him in. Just like when he bring in Waylon Jennings for the bashes, or David Allan Coe, because Outlaw Country was so huge. Right. At that time. Once again, man, in this area, he had his finger on that pulse. Man. Yeah. But Mike, what are we looking at in the ring right now, bro?
Flair.
How much greatness is that?
Oh my God. And you talk about the era and area, talking about Prince, and you've got Flair coming out in this almost like this. Oh my!
It looks like a peacock.
It looks like he reached right into Liberace's
Yes!
closet and pulled out this robe. It is.
You can see it from space.
Is just this silver sequin, hot pink,
hot, yeah. Gorgeous,
robe,
man.
Gorgeous robe.
Gorgeous robe. I think he said he spent like $20,000 on those robes or something ridiculous like that. I mean,
I wouldn't doubt it.
I wouldn't doubt it either, man.
And,
no.
He comes out, and that's. I think that's the thing that's kind of. You got Flair coming out in this robe, and you'll never hear a word from those fans about questioning Flair's masculinity.
No, never, man, no. And let's be honest, man, Flair had long blonde hair. Right. You know what I'm saying? He strutted around. He wore hot pink.
Yeah.
Nobody once ever would put that kind of label on him or get that kind of heat that was so easily gotten.
I think it was just respect for Flair.
It was. And to this day, man, and one thing I love about, obviously in kayfabe, man, is me being the market I am. And, especially with me and you, Mike, I'd always dog out Flair every chance I got. Flair sucks, Yeah. But that's that market.
Yeah.
Dude, the thing I love about Ric Flair, I'm saying that just where I can transition what I'm about to say. The man is still relevant, and he never changed nothing. Flair is a heel, Flair is a face, Flair was Flair.
Right.
And it was the Flair that we're watching right now in 1984, and Flair can do it right now.
Yeah.
And he never compromised, man. Flair was always Flair.
Right.
And God bless him, he's iconic now. And I love that, man. I don't like new rap music, but I love when these new rappers have Flair in their videos. There was some guy who just won an award, man, and he had a Ric Flair chain.
Oh, yeah.
I love that, man.
Yeah.
I don't like the music per se, man. My music taste probably stopped in 2000. I haven't gotten into anything after 2000.
Yeah.
For the most part. But, man, when I see these young hip-hop and rappers coming up, showing all this, love to Ric Flair, I love it.
Oh,
man.
yeah.
I love it. And I just love the fact that Ric Flair's Ric Flair.
Yes.
He always was Ric Flair, and he always will be. Never changed, man.
Nope.
Never.
Sure didn't.
Heel, face, you got him, and that's what I love. But right now, man, we're seeing Joe Frazier as the special guest referee.
Oh, my Lord. Oh, my Lord.
We're going to get into that one, brother.
All right. Yeah. But, we got Dusty and Flair going. And, going into this, they're both baby faces.
Babies. Yeah, they're baby faces, man. Oh.
Flair, they're obviously, Flair will be working a heel style on this one.
Because you just couldn't do that with Dusty at this time, man.
No.
There's no one Dusty could go in and not be the favorite.
Right.
There's no one. No one. Not at this particular time.
No. And Flair would maintain being a baby even after this.
That's right.
Into 85. He would have those huge matches with Nikita.
Oh, yes, man.
At the Bash 85s.
And those
so
matches,
he'd go into a big war into 85 against Nikita. So, after all this is said and done with Dusty and Flair, they went their separate ways until
Starrcade 85.
Starrcade 85 again. Once again, they'd be going at each other. But, we'll get to that one when we cover 85.
Right.
Which is another big year for Crockett.
Oh, man, that's another one.
This is when it starts really taking that mold.
Amping up, man.
Yeah, into what it would be.
Because I think we've agreed, man, that 84 was definitely that year of transition, Really, to me, man, Starrcade 83 was the first, okay, here's what's happening.
Yeah.
84, here's what's going, this is how we're changing from this to this. 85's like, now we're this.
Yeah.
And we're going to ramp that shit up,
Now, I just saw something, that Dusty was very famous for. Can you tell me about the flip-flop fly?
I would rather not.
What exactly is a flip-flop fly?
I would hear it better from you, man. Yeah.
When Dusty gets in that rapid punches, and then he does the
little roll up or little wind up. It's a little
wind up with his hands. What is that?
Well, the flip flop fly would be a good.
Definitely. I always called it the flip flop fly.
I always called it badass, man. Is what I called it.
What is the purpose of that?
Well, the wind up, man, it builds up all this momentum. When he does his hands like that, and he rolls them up, and then when he comes back and hits you with that elbow, he's taking all that centrifugal force, and it's lucky, man, he don't kill a man. Honestly, only professional wrestlers like Ric Flair, Ole Anderson, Tully, only those people in that tip-top condition could take that kind of move, man. The flip-flop fly is not to be fucked with, brother. That's what I'm trying to say.
So that's the scientific.
Sure.
Okay. All right.
And I have a PhD in funkology, so I know what I'm talking about here.
So in essence, the Three Stooges were physics geniuses.
In certain ways, man. But I would like to think what Larry, Curly, and Moe did, Dusty did even better.
It's akin to the same.
Hey, I'll say this much, man. The finish of this match could absolutely have been on an episode of the Three Stooges. I will say that. I'll say that all day.
I'll argue with you with that.
I'll say that. And I love Dusty, man, but this one, I was like, what the shit, man. I mean, but we'll get to it.
Here we go. We talked about this earlier.
Sir.
Dusty going for that figure four.
And I always thought the way Dusty applied the figure four was so much better than Ric's. It was so much more efficient. If you notice, when Ric Flair would do it, he would spin his whole body around, which would pretty much expose his whole backside to be kicked off. The way Dusty did it, he never stopped looking at his opponent in the eye like a man.
Well, see,
like a man.
Okay, I disagree with that.
What?
I disagree with that absolutely because it takes that whole old. Well, you take the spinning toe hold.
Okay.
Right. Legitimate move.
It's a legitimate hold. I'll give you that.
I think
yes, sir.
It takes that and uses that to torque the leg into that figure four already because you're using.
Nah.
There's no wasted.
You know what I think it is?
I think you expose yourself way more if you're stepping into it because you're not putting any pressure on anything.
Nah, totally disagree, man. I think what it really is Ric Flair, man. At this point, man, he was drinking a lot. So I think Ric Flair actually went for the spinning toe hold on several occasions. Oh shit, man, my finisher's a finish four or the figure four. So he had to just keep on going with it, man. In other words, he was trying to hide his fuck up. Is what I think. See,
Flair did it this way for decades.
Well, he was a fuck up for decades, man.
God.
He fucked up for years, man.
No, what it was is damn Dusty was too lazy to take it all the way around, so he just stepped. Stepped in. And it's like, man, come on.
You got to work smart. Work smart, not hard.
Well,
work smart, not hard.
That's
what it boils down to, man. And that's why
that's
Dusty,
just another way of saying lazy as shit.
No. There's nothing little about Dusty. There's nothing little about Dusty.
Yeah. I don't want to walk around this man's leg
because he doesn't need to.
I'm just gonna have to step through
because he doesn't want to take his eyes off his opponent.
The only thing effective about Dusty Rhodes' figure four was he had much heavier legs than anybody else.
Well, which was again to his advantage, man. That's why he would eat as much as he did, man. It was to put that extra weight behind the figure four. You know, Mike, man, I really wish you would get yourself educated more on the ways of the figure four. Figure four 101.
When did Dusty Rhodes ever win anything off of figure four?
I think he beat George South one time.
Get the hell out of here. He always won with the damn elbow.
Well, yeah, man, because it's a much more devastating hold, man, than the figure four leg lock, you know. Hey, man, he beat a lot more people than Ric Flair ever beat with the figure four. Right?
No,
probably not.
No,
probably not.
not.
Well, we're just going to agree to disagree on this one, Mike. We all know that Dusty did the better figure four.
Well, I know.
That's all I'm saying.
I know.
Man. Dude, you know
the question to everybody is, that's a good question for everybody. You know, who had the best figure four? Who had the best figure four, and why didn't Ric Flair?
If it was not Ric Flair, you're wrong. See, this is the shit I like, man. This is the shit I like right here.
You know this is coming down. This is coming down. We went into this. It's just like Flair and Rhodes going into this match. Both baby faces.
Yes.
Both they've worked together before. But as soon as you get to the match, all shit's
the
out
bell
the
rings. It's out the door.
Out the door.
It's out the fucking door.
Yeah.
And you know what, Mike? All jokes aside, all seriousness here, man. We are truly watching the two greatest, man.
No, for sure.
I mean, really, man.
There's no doubt.
The two greatest. I mean, you know, I love Hogan, man. You know, obviously, I consider him to be in the top three.
Wrestlers, performers.
Overall, man, and you know, I'll even go creatively.
Yes.
You know, man, even Dusty. God, man, his creativity couldn't be topped. No. Ric's couldn't be topped, man. I mean, the way Ric works in that fucking ring, man, is a clinic every single time, man. And I mean, and I know every night, brother.
These guys were doing it every night,
man. And I mean, bro, it didn't matter if they were wrestling in front of 50 or 50 freaking thousand, man. they would put it all on the line, which is why they are the greatest. And, you know, Mike, I know we're going to talk about feuds, and I cannot wait for that episode, man. We're going to have a great time talking about the greatest feuds. But, man, let's go ahead and call it. I can't think of much better than this one.
I can't. As far as a rivalry, you know, it's akin to that you know, the old sports rivalries.
Yes.
You know, the Cowboys and
the Redskins. Hell yeah, man. That's a great example, Mike. That's a great example.
Yeah.
Look. Oh, my. Now, Joe Frazier just went down for a 3-count, people, and I swear to God, I counted to 20. I mean,
he didn't even go.
He didn't even go down, man.
He left one knee.
Yeah. Yes, man.
And had that count. Look, I've seen Brocco damn Lubitsch.
Sonny Fargo in his freaking janitor outfit, man, was damn getting faster 3 counts.
Yeah.
Sonny Fargo's 120 years old in this match, people.
Oh my God.
What, man? Okay, 110. Okay, I'm sorry. I exaggerated. Motherfucker, at least 70. Come on, at least 70. Come on. I mean, hell, I'm surprised.
Sonny Fargo worked rings around. All right, here we go. Dusty's about to throw Flair off
the top rope, yes.
Have you ever seen Flair come off the damn top rope?
Dude.
With a move?
Oh, no. No.
Maybe a couple times. I've never seen Flair leave the top rope for anything.
Well, now, he did on the crossbody with Harley Race.
Okay.
And we say how that worked out.
Yeah.
We say how that looked. There you go.
There you go. There you are.
And you know, but man, you just talk about Rick just selling, man, and putting over what he does. I mean, man, I could watch Ric Flair and Dusty Rhodes every day.
Yeah.
I could watch the match we're watching here every day and see something new out of it, man. Dude, they really did make movies.
Yeah.
You know, it's like one of those movies. You could watch a movie 100 times, and 100 times you're going to see something a little different. You're going to catch something a little different. It's the same thing with their matches, brother. It's the nuances.
Yeah.
It's those little things, man. The devil's in the details, as they say. It's the facial expressions, man. It's the way they sell certain things in certain times. It's perfect, bro.
Yeah, absolutely. They're going to take it to the outside now.
Yeah, we're outside, man. We're trading blows. We got the chops.
It's just back and forth. Now here we go.
Dusty goes into the turn, or into the ring post.
Yeah, straight into the ring post. And this is where this match is going to take a remarkable turn.
Or as I like to call it, a dive. Brother, me and Mike have talked about things going south in the past. You know, Georgia's in the south. You know what I'm saying? Mississippi's in the south. Motherfuckers, we about to go to Cuba. I mean, we just going right out of Miami, Florida, the southernmost point. We're taking it to Cuba because, man, this is going hell.
Now Dusty's, you know,
Dusty got a good blade going on.
Yeah, Dusty's busted open.
Got some good color, like he did every night in the 80s.
Well, I'll tell you, by the end of this, I'm going to tell you. Now, Joe
Frazier, being a boxer,
you know, he sees the blood and he's like, well, you know,
in boxing, we stop matches for excessive blood,
right?
But
apparently, Joe Louis has never seen a
Frazier.
Oh yeah, Joe Frazier, excuse me, has never seen a wrestling match, especially from this era or
from Dusty Rhodes, or Dusty
Flair,
in general, Flair. Man, Dusty Rhodes has bled more on his way to the grocery store than he has in this match.
Oh, here we go.
All right, so we got Dusty coming back. Man, Dusty hit him with the elbow. That's it.
Yeah.
Ric Flair gets up, kind of no-sells a little bit, whatever. But it's a great match, man. Oh, my God.
They're going hot at each other.
Yeah.
Man.
Hot and heavy, guys.
Flair's working on that eye. That's busted open.
Yeah, and Frazier's separating him. He's getting him out of the ring.
Like it's a damn boxing match.
Like it's a boxing match, which it's not.
What? Get on out of here now.
And you know it would be different.
He's calling over one of the judges.
Which, once again, it's a wrestling match.
Yep. And that's the thing. You know.
Now, Dusty's coming back, man. Dusty's got the advantage.
Oh, for sure.
Dusty's got that belt in his sights.
Well.
Now here comes Frazier. He gets in between them.
He's between them once again.
He's getting Flair away from him.
Looking at that cut, and
he's really pissing me off, Mike, is what he's doing, because I'm like, let's wrestle. Let's get this match going on.
Well, and
you see Frazier's over here. He's looking at the cut above the eye.
And
there's a match, ladies and gentlemen. Mikey, what happened?
He threw it out because of the blood.
Are you?
And at that point, obviously, Dusty wasn't even bleeding as much as he was before.
Dude, I've seen Dusty have harder.
Oh God,
dude, Dusty can stump his toe.
We've all seen.
Dude, it's not even that. Okay.
No.
This was so aggravating to me as a kid. I wanted to box Joe Frazier. as an 11-year-old kid. I was 9 years old. Excuse me, I was 9 years old at this time. I wanted to box him.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, that's bullshit. We're watching it now, ladies and gentlemen, and my heat and my hatred for this finish is just as fresh as it was back in 1985 when I watched it on VHS. This was terrible, man. This was Dusty. Once again, we've said it over and over again. He was great, but he was not perfect.
Yeah.
This was not the best finish. I understand, though, Mike. I will say this much. I see the psychology. Dusty wants to stay over. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You don't want anybody to truly get beat.
No.
But at the same time,
yeah,
this was not the right way to do it because it was so anticlimactic.
It was.
And it was so
confusing. And
yes, it was confusing.
Yeah. Because I mean, they're trying to they're trying to sell it now with wrapping Dusty's head up.
Yes.
They're trying to sell it, but
man, if you've ever watched one Dusty Rhodes main event,
oh my god,
or a Ric Flair main event, or an Abdullah the Butcher match, come on, man. We've seen more. Once again, man, Dusty could stump his toe and bleed more than he bled in this match.
Yeah.
All in all,
I think with the Race and Flair match, you look at Flair and that crimson, and
yes. Dude, it put it over.
Gene Kiniski wasn't stopping that match.
Hell no, man. Gene Kiniski wasn't going to stop that match. You know why? Because he's in wrestling. He was a wrestler.
Yes.
He wasn't a boxer, man. And Joe Frazier,
I think
God bless him, man. But
Jesus. It was just trying to get, that celebrity feel.
Yes.
And just...
And
Joe Frazier, honestly, God love him.
Oh, yeah. He was a master at what he did.
What he did in his sport.
In his field.
In his profession.
Sure.
Just did not translate here
in wrestling. And once again, I see Dusty's thought process. Well, I don't want to win. I want Flair to keep this belt. I don't want to be pinned.
Right.
And man, people get on Dusty for that shit. It's the egos, but at the same time, it makes sense for the long haul, man.
For sure.
Not to get pinned.
Yeah.
Mike, I'm gonna say it again. As far as golden era, classic era wrestling goes, my least favorite Starrcade.
All right, let's go ahead and review. Let's go back.
Let's review the thing
while they're going through the replays and everything.
Sure.
Talking this thing, trying to sell it.
Yeah, still trying to sell. 30-some years later, still trying to sell it. Might have been.
I might have been mad that night if I went.
Oh, dude.
At the end of the day, who's this clown?
It's almost enough, man. I want your damn money back. Yeah. But all in all, man, not a bad card.
All right, let's go.
All right.
Let's go down the line. Denny Brown versus Mike Davis.
Clinic. It was a clinic.
It was a good match.
It was a good match.
Are we going to start these out?
Man, it don't matter, man. We can give it a point system.
Let's say a standard 5 stars.
5 stars. And
stars.
let's don't, man, Mikey. Can I make one request?
Okay.
This is a personal issue with me, man. This is a flaw, a character flaw. Well, maybe not a character. It's a quirk I got.
Right.
If we're going to do a 5-point system, let's just do a 5-point system. In other words, no 2.5 stars.
Oh yeah,
no 3
3
3/4.
Yeah.
Let's either say one, or we're gonna have a 1 through 10.
1, 2. Let's do 5.
1 through 5.
Yeah.
God,
it works for me.
Dude, when I hear people say, "Well, I give it 2 3/4 stars," no, motherfucker, that's a 3. That's a fucking 3.
That's like calling your
Jesus.
That's like
it gets to me.
That's like calling your kid 28 months old.
No, no, that little fucker's 2. You know what I'm saying? Oh, see, man, yeah. See, now we're on the same page.
Yeah. It's complicated.
That shit aggravates me.
I have a 3-year-old.
Yeah, thank you.
I have a 3-year-old.
Oh, you have a 36-year-old. 36-month-year-old. No. Once that motherfucker hits a year,
you know what?
That's it.
Before that, I had a 2-year-old.
No way. No fucking way. My whole thing, man, is once they hit 12 months, that's it. There ain't no 12 months, motherfucker. Yes, they can be 11 months. That's cool. 11 and a half, fuck it. Cool. Right. But once they hit 12, no, man, it's a year old. Okay, man, I'm off my... But we got a straight, honest God, 5-point system here.
Yes, honest to goodness. All right, Denny Brown, Mike Davis.
I would give okay, now let me ask. Okay, let's just do overall. I was going to say, man, I don't know if we want to talk about just pure wrestling, bell to bell, or we want to talk about just psychology. Just
match.
I'll give it a 3.
Yeah,
I give it a solid 3. Solid 3.
I would say 3 on that.
Solid 3.
Brian Adidas and Mr. Ito.
2.
I would say a 1.
You give it a 1.
I give it
a 1.
It was an unnecessary match.
Yeah.
It was just
let down.
Not on me.
Yeah.
Jesse Barr, Mike Graham.
I give that one about a 2 as well, man.
I would say a 3 on
You
that.
give that one a
I
3?
like that.
Did
I
you?
really like it.
It was a good match, man. I give it a 2 just mostly, man, because I didn't really know the competitors that well. But it was a good match.
Right.
It was a good match, but I'll keep mine a 2. Yeah.
Assassin number 1, Buzz Tyler versus Zambo Express.
One.
This is a lazy fucking match.
That was just bullshit.
This is a
It was
lazy
bullshit,
fucking
man.
match.
It was bullshit.
This
Yeah.
is a terrible match.
Bullshit, yeah.
Manny Fernandez, Black Bart.
I give that one, man. I'm gonna give that one a solid. I'm gonna give it a 4.
Really?
I'm gonna give it a 4, man. I did enjoy the match. I wish it could have been for. I didn't like the brass knuckle title, and I wish Manny could have. I'm gonna drop it back down to a 3.
I'm gonna say a 2 on that.
I'm gonna give it a 3. Yeah,
I'm gonna go with the 2 on it because he didn't care for the finish. I thought.
Yeah, the finish
was
was
confusing.
a little whack. Yeah,
confusing finish and just.
Yeah, I'm gonna drop
it's just an unnecessary title.
Yeah, I'll drop mine back down to a 3. But it was still Black Bart and Manny. So
I know it's a shame too.
Yeah, I'll give him a 3 on that one.
Paul Jones, Jimmy Valiant.
Fucking 5, man.
Generosity.
I give that motherfucker a 20.
What's the best city in the nation? Generosity.
Generosity, man.
Yeah.
What's the best nation? Donation.
Donation.
I'm donating that motherfucker a 5. I liked it, man. I did. Mike Payne, we had another fucking technical issue. God damn it, man. So we have a strict time limit, ladies and gentlemen. We can't do this shit past an hour and a half. It don't look like. Apparently this silver box has a fucking time limit on. I thought I fixed that shit.
But no.
But we had gotten up to the Boogie Woogie Man.
Yes,
So I gave it a 5.
Yeah, I gave it a 4.
4.
Because of the ether spot at the end.
Right.
I just thought that was really confusing. Going on, Ron Bass versus Dick Slater match. I thought it was a 3.
What did I give it, a 3?
Yeah.
I think I did give it a 3, yeah. It's solid. It was a solid match.
It was a solid match again, one of the smallest, finishes I didn't agree with, but, it was a solid match.
Right.
Ivan and Nikita versus Ole and Keith Larson.
4.
4, definitely a 4. God, that was a solid tag match.
It was really good.
And it was, honestly, it was the only match on the card that wasn't for any title.
Any belts, man.
Any belts. And I thought it would have been done well if they had the tag titles at that time.
With the Russians.
Right.
With the Russians.
Yeah.
And man, just the way Ole was taking all the heat in that match.
Oh, yeah,
man.
for sure.
I believe I actually have a new respect for Ole Anderson after watching that match.
Yeah.
I really do, man. He was that good.
Tully Blanchard versus Rick Steamboat. 5. Absolutely.
Match of the night.
Yeah.
Match
For
of
sure.
the night.
Yeah.
Hands down,
Top to
man.
bottom.
You
Absolutely.
You're
Everything was perfect.
Perfect, man. One of your best absolute
Yeah.
babyface of all time
Yeah.
against one of your absolute most hated heels of all time.
Yes.
Perfect, man. It was perfect.
Here we go. Wahoo versus Superstar Billy Graham.
Man, what did did I give it a 2?
I gave it a 2.
2, yeah. It was just, man, the finish sucked. The only reason I don't give it a 1 is out of respect for those two guys because I love them that much.
All that and it wasn't Brian Diaz and Mr. Ito.
yes, exactly. But
he beat a world heavyweight champion in 5 minutes.
In 5 minutes with a chop.
Former world heavyweight champion with a chop.
With a chop, man.
Which it's Wahoo chop.
It is a Wahoo chop, man.
Wahoo chop,
but at the same time, man, and not only
it was
that,
confusing.
It was confusing, and they were playing the wrong roles.
Yeah.
Wahoo should have been the baby. Superstar should have worked heel.
Yes.
They were flipped, but they were working that style.
Right.
Just once again, man, not a good match.
Yeah.
It just wasn't.
And here we go, the main event: Ric Flair versus Dusty Rhodes.
2. It's a 2.
Absolutely a 2.
Up until the finish,
Right.
I would have given it a 5 because of who they are.
You were at Starrcade in the main event for the world title, and it's a 12-minute match.
Right.
And 5 of that is Joe Frazier looking at Dusty's head with
Trying
the
to
cut
figure
on his
out.
head.
Trying to figure out if he's going to call the match or not. And you're calling a wrestling match for blood.
Yeah.
When Dusty Rhodes, like I said, man, I think
Unnecessary.
I said it in the last time we recorded that Dusty could stump his toe and bleed more.
Yeah.
Exactly. Dusty bleeds more shaving than he would in this match.
Right.
And it was just a whack finish to a absolutely
terrible.
Well, it was a terrible finish to an absolutely stellar match.
Absolutely terrible.
And it just killed it, man. It took a 5-star match and it took it down to a 2.
Right.
Once again, the only reason I don't give it a 1 is because of the beginning of that match to the very end was phenomenal, like Dusty and Rick do.
Yeah.
Well, Mike, brother, we're running a little long today.
Yeah,
man.
absolutely.
So
let us know what you think. Put it in the comments. See, tell us what you think of all the matches and Starrcade '84 as a whole. Just let us know.
And I'll say again, Mike, as far as classic era, probably my least favorite.
Right.
Just to be completely honest with you, the Steamboat match was great. Obviously, man, there were other high points. Obviously, the Boogie Woogie Man and Paul Jones was great, but man, all in all, just not the best Starrcade, especially coming after Starrcade '83.
Right.
Starrcade '83 is one of my favorites, if not my favorite. So it had it had some big shoes to fill, but I don't feel like it came close to filling those shoes, man. But Mike, I will say this much, brother. I had a blast today.
Yeah,
man.
absolutely.
This was great. I really enjoyed going and watching these matches live and trying something a little different. And like you said, people out there, ladies and gentlemen, let us know what you think. Did you like this format? Did you not like the format? Do you have something you want to add to what we said? Do you want to debate some stuff we said? Hey, man, let us know.
We're always open.
We're open, man. Put it on our Facebook page. Just don't message us. That's my thing, man. Don't send us private messages.
Right.
Put it out for the public. Be like, hey, let's all discuss this. Let's all talk about this thing. Let's keep it going.
Yeah.
Man, we only record once a week, man, but we're PUDs every day.
That's right.
Man, we live it, brother. Right. We can't help
it.
We are who we are. But well, Mike, man, I just want to give a real quick shout out to the Millennium Wrestling Federation. I try to give them props every week. Actually took a bunch of our little flyers that I printed out up to them yesterday, so Jeff handed out some. And
nice.
Don't know how well that went, but hopefully we got a few out
more
there.
PUDs
Hey, man, the more PUDs, the merrier, man.
Absolutely.
And I just want to thank Jeff and the whole crew at the Millennium Wrestling Federation for supporting us and for putting us over like they have, man. And if you haven't been out lately, go check them back out, man. Actually, Mike, this is something you don't know. Jeff has taken a lot of renovations in that building, man. I went there yesterday. They have like black curtains and black, stuff up to kind of give that little bit more old school vibe, and that's what Jeff's going for is that more old school kind of traditional wrestling, place. And man, it looked really good. And I'm really looking forward to seeing what all they can do. But they got a show coming up in a couple weeks. It's not going to be this next Saturday, but the Saturday after next. Next week we'll have the date and everything because I never come prepared. I probably won't either. Hell, man, I ain't going to have that shit next week either. Exactly. Hell no, I ain't going to have it.
I know.
But my God, we're thinking of y'all.
Yep,
and we appreciate it, man. We appreciate it.
We'll
guys.
have them on the bulletin board in here.
Absolutely.
For the coming weeks.
I know Chris Solar, one of the members of the Fellowship of the Ring, hit me up. He's wanting to come on. Him and Blake want to come on, and they want to bring some of their ridiculousness here to the podcast. And like we need any more, but hey, man, hey, we'll take
more merrier.
More the merrier, man.
That's
and we are definitely getting you on there. This is a work starring David Hayes and Chris Barnes. Have actually got a new episode coming up. It may actually be up now. I'm not sure.
Right.
I believe it should be up today. Today is Sunday, the 26th. It may already be up as we're recording this, but if it's not, it's coming up soon. They're actually reviewing SummerSlam.
Right.
So I'm really looking forward to that, man. I like to see, because I didn't watch SummerSlam.
I did.
So you actually get to kind of, compare with them where I'm just going to take it in.
Right.
So I'm looking forward to that. But, well, Mike, I guess we need to wrap this son of a bitch up, brother. We late. You got to open up the store.
We good.
So, well, Mike, is there anything you want to end us with, brother?
That'll do it for 1984 Crockett Promotions.
And something I do want to say, no spoilers, but next week, I'm looking really forward to next week.
Absolutely.
And this week is our 10th show, brother. We had a little milestone today, man. It's our first double digit,
exactly.
bro. We got 10 in. Who knew? Hell, man, we still going. Jesus, man. But next week's going to be extra special, man. Can't put no spoilers out there. Don't want to do anything. We're going to surprise you guys. But next week is going to be another first, another milestone for us. I'm really looking forward to it. And Mike, brother, once again, thanks for opening up the Pud Cave here. Thanks for letting us do this thing.
Absolutely.
And until next week, ladies and gentlemen, y'all have a good one.
Joe Frazier, you owe me money.
And not only that, David, I understand we're right at the end of our program.
No, we have got to go.
This has been a great event.
There's some people out there that hate us for this.